Well, here we are, July 21st. We are hanging cameras today. We've kind of shifted gears from on the boat in the water to out in the woods getting all sweaty and having to deal with the bugs, but we're finally getting this done. This is some work that has to get done right about now. Usually we like getting this done mid-July to late July. We like getting the cameras out because if we do disturb anything, it gives them a week or two to come back and not feel so pressured. This is a camera we're going to be running today, a wild game camera. Looks like an infrared. I love running these infrared cameras. You know, there's always a debate and questions if deer can see them. There's black flash cameras and infrared cameras and just regular flash photography. And as far as it spooking deer, I'm not really sure if it does or not. You know, we run all different kinds of cameras. Like I said, this one here's an infrared. I know I'm hanging a black flash sometime today, and I even got an older regular flash photography camera, and they all work good. At this specific setup spot, we got a small little woodlot here that we're in, and it's kind of surrounded by, well, there's a bunch of ag fields by it, and then about 300 yards every which direction we're surrounded by some big mature timber. So this spot here is, once they come out of their timber, they use the fields to feed and kind of socialize, and then they kind of work through this little spot. We've kicked up a lot of nice deer coming through this area. There's a path that runs through the farm here that we'll take sometimes to grab cameras, and instead of walking through these areas, we'll use a vehicle or a ATV or a UTV to come through and move these deer instead of us walking on our feet. It's a lot less intrusive, and the deer aren't really as scared of a vehicle or UTV because they just think it's the farmer coming through making his rounds. This biorock here is on a stump, and why we like to do that is because if you put it directly onto the ground and then it rains and you get maybe some water to sit in by that biorock, it'll decay it a lot faster than if it's up off the ground. A lot of times we'll put a regular rock underneath it and then put the biorock on top of that regular rock, and it just makes them last a lot longer and you really get your money's worth. So that's one little trick that we like to do here, and this is definitely one spot we're gonna hang this camera and get out of here, because I'm really excited to see what kind of pictures we can get from this spot. Okay, so the reason we like to kind of spread it all around instead of dumping it on one pile is because deer themselves are natural browsers. When you kind of watch them, walk through the field or walk through the woods or whatever, they're not standing in one spot just eating. Every once in a while a mature buck will do that, but that's for a different reason. They'll kind of walk through and pick a little bit here and pick a little bit there. So naturally they're going to walk through this area and just kind of pick here and there. Also, if you spread them out as much as you can, it really lowers the social stress. They're not kind of fighting each other for the food. That's why we have as many mineral sites here as we can, as we're allowed, because it really spreads the deer out and keeps the disease to a minimum. We don't want to spread any diseases, and it really brings that social stress down. One thing we really like to focus on in summer especially is soybean fields. Soybean fields are extremely beneficial to the deer herd. they really crave water throughout the hot summer months. And these soybean leaves, they're really green, and they provide a lot of moisture for these deer. And you know, the reason a soybean is so beneficial to a deer is because they can hammer them all summer, and then when the leaves fall off in October, they expose the beans, and then they'll eat the beans all throughout until that farmer harvests it, or until there's no beans left. So but I don't think there's one single field besides maybe a clover field that's more beneficial and attractive to a deer in the hot summer months. So keep that in mind when you're hanging your cameras this summer. We're just about back to the truck, and I'm dying, trying to talk and catch my breath. Thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna have a lot more deer videos coming out. You know, like I said, mid to late July right now, so we're gonna be cranking them out. We'll probably come grab our cameras late August, and we'll try and make a video, get you guys updated. And I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot of bucks that we're looking for, a lot of 3, 4, 5-year-olds. So we'll see what happens. Make sure to like, subscribe, and even though it's not a fishing show, I'm gonna say it: when in doubt, jerk it out. Thanks a lot.